Chapter 1 of The Flying Inn. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by Charles Bice. The Flying Inn by G.K. Chesterton. Chapter 1. A Sermon on Inns. The sea was a pale elfin green, and the afternoon had already felt the fairy touch of evening as a young woman with dark hair, dressed in a crinkly copper-colored sort of dress of the artistic order, was walking rather listlessly along the parade of Pebblewick-on-Sea, trailing a parasol and looking out upon the sea's horizon. She had a reason for looking instinctively out at the sea-line, a reason that many young women have had in the history of the world, but there was no sail in sight. On the beach below the parade were a succession of small crowds surrounding the usual orators of the seaside. Whether niggers or socialists, whether clowns or clergymen, here would stand a man doing something or other with paper boxes, and the holiday-makers would watch him for hours in the hope of sometime knowing what it was that he was doing with them. Next to him would be a man in a top hat with a very big Bible and a very small wife, who stood silently beside him while he fought with his clenched fist against the heresy of the Milnian Suplacerianism, so widespread in fashionable watering-places. It was not easy to follow him, he was so very much excited, but every now and then the words, "Our Suplacerian friends," would recur with a kind of wailing sneer. Next was a young man talking of nobody knew what, least of all himself, but apparently relying for public favor mainly on having a ring of carrots round his hat. He had more money lying in front of him than the others. Next were niggers. Next was a children's service conducted by a man with a long neck who beat time with a little wooden spade. Farther along there was an atheist in a towering rage who pointed every now and then at the children's service and spoke of nature's fairest things being corrupted with the secrets of the Spanish Inquisition, by the man with the little spade, of course. The atheist, who wore a red rosette, was very withering to his own audience as well. "Hypocrites," he would say, and then they would throw him money. "Dupes and dastards," and then they would throw him more money. But between the atheist and the children's service was a little owlish man in a red fez.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?